Hi, I'm Dr. Tim Weir, and I gotta tell you, I love life. But when I'm not being a husband, a father, a grandfather, an author, or a practicing chiropractor, I'm the host of the television show Loving Life with Dr. Tim Weir. I love to cook. I love to travel. I like to spend time with people who do what they love and love what they do. Join me and Elvis for the next 30 minutes as we help you discover how to love life. I love to play the piano. I love to do lots of stuff that's creative. So today, great show. I'm with Matt Eisman, incredible actor, performer. You've probably seen him on American Ninja Warrior. Oh, we're gonna have an awesome time with him. Samantha Chase, somebody just like you and I who stepped out and just decided to write some novels. Wow, she is amazing. Then we're going to go back to one of my favorite places to eat in Raleigh called The Pit. And then I've got some words of wisdom for you today. So don't change the channel. You're right here at the right time, and we're going to have fun.
How long have you two been married right here? 17 years. How about that? 17 years. What are your names? Barb and Bob. Bob, do you ever get to speak or no? Just Barb does it for you?
You know how I'm always telling you that you got to do what you love and love what you do. Otherwise, you're not going to be happy in life. And so I always look for people who are doing that and are successful doing what they're doing, because I want you to meet them so that you know that I'm telling the truth. I'm with Matt Eisman. Matt, thank you for being with me today.
My pleasure, Tim.
This guy is absolutely incredible. You're in town at the Memorial Auditorium, gorgeous place.
Huge.
Doing a one-man play called Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus.
Yes.
How in the world did you get into this?
It's one of those things where just fortune. I had a friend, a comedian, I do stand-up comedy, and we did a show together in Las Vegas that I was booking and I brought her out on. It was a very cush gig, and she said, you know what, I want to pay it back sometime. And I said, I just like working with good people. You don't have to do anything in return. She started working on this project, and they were looking for somebody to do a reading. And so she suggested me. So they flew me out to Phoenix, and just was supposed to be one read through, but the people who were putting the show together said, he'll do. And so that was about a year ago, and now here we are, and I'm the one taking this out. So it was just blind luck, having been out in Hollywood for over 13 years now, and realizing how many swings at the plate you have to take before you get anything, to have something kind of fall into your lap. I don't think it's luck, because I worked very hard to get here, and when I got the chance, I converted. But it's that I think it's kind of karma. You know, you do nice things for people and try to be a good person, and hopefully it comes back to you.
But you know, oftentimes people will say that they'll see somebody successful like you're being successful. Isn't he lucky? Look at what he just. No, I've been working my butt off.
Well, that's so common in Hollywood, to have the 15-year overnight success, where somebody just pops up. Say, where's this guy been?
Right.
Well, he's been working incredibly hard, trying to make himself better. And that's what I've been for 13 and a half years. It's been acting classes and hosting and working on little shows and doing stand-up comedy in front of 5 people or 1 person or my parents or whoever it is.
Whoever would listen.
Yeah, it is. And so I'm happy if people think I'm lucky, but I feel like I work hard so that when you do get the chance, you don't screw it up. But after a while, no matter how great things are, it starts to build on you. It just starts to, it's like when you don't change the battery on a smoke detector. You just hear that beep. no, honey, I really do want to hear what Susan said about Maggie. Beep. Oh, you're going to stay up and watch TV? I guess I'll just go to bed. Alone. Beep. You really want me to tell you how those jeans make you look? Beep.
Let's go back in your time just a little bit, because you didn't start out as an actor or a host.
No.
You started out as a physician.
A doctor, yeah. I went to college and did well, and then went to medical school at Columbia in New York, got my MD, and returned home to Colorado, where I grew up, to do my residency at the University of Colorado. Now, my dad is a doctor, a world-renowned physician. He's a professor at the University of Colorado, so we were working together. But the farther I got into medicine, the more I realized it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, and my heart wasn't in it. And I thought, I'm not serving my patients as well as I should be, and I'm not serving myself because I think medicine, above many other professions, is something that's a calling. You really need to be dedicated to it to service the patients, and I didn't feel that I had that. So I decided to take some time off, and I wanted to do something unlike anything I'd ever done before. So I just decided to move out to LA and write stand-up.
Wow.
Yeah, 13 years later, it's worked out.
There's a scripture in the Bible that says, laughter doeth good like a medicine. So you're still doing medicine today?
I think so. I think it's kind of a different way, and I've ended up on the other side of the stethoscope. I have rheumatoid arthritis, and it's a chronic disease. I'll have it for the rest of my life, but for me, whenever it's gotten bad, I've always had comedy to get me through going up on stage. So now I'll go around and talk to groups of other people with RA and kind of send the message that, laughter is something you can use really to deal with an illness, because it's not just about dealing with the disease, it's about dealing with a person and making sure that you don't let it take over your life, which I'm trying not to.
You're awesome.
Yeah, that's what I say too. I have a voice inside my head that wake up every morning. You're amazing.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tim.
Good to meet you.
Thank you, likewise.
Don't change the channel. We'll be right back. So we're in a really cool place right downtown Raleigh called The Pit, Authentic Barbecue. I'm with owner Greg Hayden and the executive chef, Darrell. Thank you for letting me be here with you.
Glad you're here. Nice to have you.
Now you guys serve just like down-home barbecue.
It's the real deal.
It's the real deal.
It's the way we learned how to do it back in Eastern North Carolina.
So we've already talked a little bit. You're from Roanoke Rapids.
Right.
And you're from Tarboro.
Yes.
We just did a show in Tarboro. And I know they know how to cook some good barbecue down there, so I know you guys do. So is that your signature? If you could put a signature dish together, what would it be?
It'd be our Eastern style Carolina barbecue. We cook whole hogs here, sir. Whole hogs.
Everything.
Everything. Everything but the squeal. That's our motto.
So, I mean, just like a regular barbecue restaurant, you're going to have barbecue. You have barbecue chicken, that kind of stuff?
Barbecue chicken, we have brisket, we have turkey barbecue. We've got some great sides. Now, while this guy grew up cooking hogs, he's a trained chef. He's an amazing chef as well. So we kick it up with our sides and some of our other dishes too.
So, honestly,
We even have barbecue tofu. We've got something for everybody.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
now that's got to really be bad.
No,
It's delicious.
no,
Really?
I'll eat it a third of the time I come here.
You're kidding.
It's amazing. Tastes like chicken.
just like chicken. Barbecue chicken.
So really what you guys have done is taken barbecue up to the next level.
Yeah.
Is that
yeah.
right?
Yes.
Well, you know, it's the same barbecue that we've been eating for 350 years in North Carolina. We just kicked up the environment and the things that go with it. So instead of just getting a plate of barbecue, you can have some wonderful sides, fresh, local, seasonal ingredients, some great local beers, wine. Nothing better than a great plate of barbecue and a beautiful glass of wine.
Now you guys, I'm assuming you guys are open for lunch every day,
That's right,
but what a great place to come in the evening.
as well.
Yeah, we have great atmosphere here. As you can see, you look around, all you see is smiling faces and empty plates. So this is a place
What
to
a
be.
great place.
Yeah, on the weekends it's packed. We really want people to make reservations. You can do it online on Open Table, but we fill up pretty quickly.
Now, of course, you know I can't give my seal of approval until I try some of that stuff.
Well, just let me know and I'll go back and grab you some right now.
I'm ready.
Okay, I'll be
I'm
right
ready.
back.
This is unbelievable looking at.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, this is
Wait till
really.
you taste it.
Look at this macaroni and cheese. Now, this is not from a kit. This is. That's real macaroni and cheese. Now, you want to make that with hoop cheese. You're trying to find.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a supplier that can help me out with some hoop cheese. We want to source it locally though. Got to be North Carolina hoop cheese.
You keep talking.
Okay, I'll keep talking.
Collards.
About it.
Now, you see, you were talking about the collards.
Yeah, the collards come
Everything's
from around
locally
Aden.
grown. Yeah.
We're bringing in as much local stuff as we can. We source all of our hogs locally. We have a supplier. We know where they come from. They're AWA certified. So we're really big into
Are they all
supporting.
named?
No.
Okay.
They're
I was just checking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we name them barbecue.
There's Q and Mrs. Q. But, you know, it's real important to us to support the local economy around us.
Exactly. Now, see, like the barbecue ribs, man, these things just, it's falling off.
This is what we call our Carolina rib. It's actually a spare rib that we hand cut and we slow smoke over our pit and just basically just a little bit of our house-made barbecue sauce. We think it has a little more flavor. I mean, most people enjoy the baby back rib, but we think this, because of the marbling and the additional fat on it, that it eats a lot better. It's
Well,
nice and tender.
I'm not tasting the barbecue sauce, I'm actually tasting the meat, and that's really important because a lot of times you just taste barbecue sauce.
That's what
So if you don't know how to cook it well, you cover it with the sauce.
Exactly.
Our sauces are very light because the meat
You have
really
any
speaks for
ketchup?
itself. Nah.
Yeah. Well, I thought I was going to have to ask you to leave. We don't do ketchup around here.
Oh my God, that's so good. Now, you actually have, I mean, it's what normally is cooked at Eastern Carolina barbecue outside, you brought it inside.
That's right. Normally these things are done in pits outside, but we went to the trouble. We're in a downtown environment. We brought it in the kitchen, worked with the health inspectors, worked with the building inspectors. We even had to have our pits UL rated.
Really?
Yeah.
We didn't, I mean, UL had never done a pit before. So they had to come here and especially figure out how this thing works.
I have a feeling
rate
you're just on the cutting edge. You love stuff, you love to create, don't you?
We do. We all do. There's a team of people in our whole group, restaurant group and renovation. We just love to do things that people say we can't do.
You know, in my show several times, you've heard me say it 2 billion times, but I believe your greatest gift that you have in life is your ability to create.
That's true. We believe the same thing. We're on the same
We
team.
never stop. We never
You're
stop.
awesome. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for letting me be here.
We're glad you're here. Thank you.
Hey, we got more to come, so don't leave. We'll be right back. One thing I wanted to talk to you about is something that I'm seeing more and more in the world, and that's this: helping people out. You know, oftentimes we think, man, I need to help them. I need to do this. I really need to reach out and help. And there's a point where that's good, where you're helping neighbors and you're doing this and that, or you're helping a charity or whatever it may be. But what you're going to find out really quick is that if you start taking over people's problems, then you're going to start having problems yourself. It's an interesting concept that if you have somebody who has a problem and you come in and you solve the problem for them, you think it's done, but it's not done. What you've done is solved this problem, and now you've added another problem onto it. They're having to deal with a whole new situation, a whole new circumstance. And so now you've solved this problem, now they have another problem that they have to solve. And what we're doing is we're raising, it seems, a whole generation of people who don't know how to solve problems. They let other people step in and solve it for them, whether it's their parents or in-laws or the government, or some people beg off the church, whatever it may be. It's really interesting because when you start looking at problems and you start looking at life and creativity, what you're going to find out is this, is that a lot of creativity is birthed in adversity. That doesn't always sound good, but it's true. Many of the things that we deal with in a day-to-day life that we have just taken, it's just, it's there. But whatever product, whatever service, whatever piece of equipment that you might be using is probably based out of adversity. They were in a situation, needed, let's call it a problem. They were having a problem in a certain area, and through creativity, instead of going out and having somebody else solve this problem, they came up with an answer themselves. They created something to solve this problem. And out of that creation, out of that adversity, could become a brand new business, or could come an answer to cancer, heart disease. So don't just automatically look for somebody to solve your problem. And you know, sometimes we don't get quiet. I recommend just getting quiet. Get by yourself. Start to meditate. Start to just listen. And pretty soon you're going to hear answers begin to bubble up. Well, I wonder if I tried this, or if I did that. Creativity is often birthed through adversity. Don't try to solve somebody's problem. Let them find the answer. Listen, I've always said, inside of all of us is the ability to create something. And I love people who create, whether you're a writer or a cook or something like, whatever it is. And you know, I'm going to tell you something. You never know if you are unless you do something. So sometimes you got to step out of the boat. I'm with an author, Samantha Chase. Thank you for letting me come today and talk to you. I'm excited about what you're doing because you're releasing creativity.
Yeah.
You have 3 books right now. One soon come out.
Yes.
Okay. So your first one is Jordan's Return.
Yes, sir.
How did you get started with all this?
You know what? I kept thinking all my life that I had to wait for the perfect surrounding. I needed the bigger house. I needed to have more time for myself. I kept thinking there was some sort of goal that I had to reach before I could allow myself to do what I truly desired. And I finally realized, you could wait your whole life and never get to that goal. So I just had to make the time to do it. I mean, you look at my house, it's a tiny house. I don't have an office. I sit in the corner over there with headphones on so I block out the noise. And I just said, you know what? This is something that I want to do. And I could fail, I could succeed, but I'm never going to know unless I make the time to do it.
You know, sometimes I think people it's a disease called excuse-itis.
Yes.
All those excuses to keep me from doing what I really should be doing and
Right.
really want to be doing. So you stepped out of the boat and did it.
I did.
This Jordan's Return is a book about...
That's like a reunion romance, I believe, is what they call it in the mainstream. So it's just a story of a couple that meet again 20 years after they had dated back in high school and rekindle.
As I fan this, it's hot.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's a little bit steamy. I got a little bit of flack from some people on that.
Okay. Then that probably would be one of my favorite.
Yeah.
And then Christmas Cottage.
Christmas Cottage is a sweet novella. There's no steaminess in it. And I wrote that in 3 weeks. And I put it out. It was a fluke. I wrote it for National Novel Writing Month back in November, which is 30 days of writing abandon. Your goal is to write 50,000 words in a month. Yeah. So I wrote that, and I wanted to put it out as a freebie because it was Christmas. I thought the theming and the timing was right, but Amazon wouldn't allow it to go for free, so I put it out there as a 99-cent Kindle book, and it became a bestseller.
Is it still on there?
It is still on there.
Better go check that one out. Christmas Cottage,
Christmas
Samantha
Cottage.
Chase. And out of this one comes the next one?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Because in this book, a secondary character is the heroine's best friend, and she's sort of a neurotic bride-to-be who ends up walking away from her wedding. So everybody was asking, what happened to the best friend? What's her story? So I had to write her story.
So that comes, and we just have the cover of this one.
Yes.
Beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
How'd you get my picture? Oh,
I
that's
know
not
you
me.
do look stunning.
Yeah, God bless you for saying that. So this is a follow-up to that one.
Yes, it is.
And you know what I like about you is your love for life.
I do. I feel like, you know what? If I don't make it happen, I can't sit around waiting for anybody else to do it.
Exactly.
Gotta take the bull by the horns and do it. You know?
So all people have to do is go to Amazon.
Amazon.com, and you could download it, Samantha Chase, and the new one will be out February 25th.
You're awesome.
Thank you. You're
Thank
awesome.
you for letting me be here.
Thank you for coming here.
Don't change the channel. Go to Amazon, and then we'll be right back. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Loving Life. It's all about choices. You just make choices, you go with it, step out of the boat, take some chances, do what you love to do. I'm going to be here again, so you're going to return. Watch the show. Love life. Stay, Samantha. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby.